Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a new feature from Boot Mode, something that is going to allow our N20s and N26 F30s to have the GTS startup roar upon startup. Now this is different than turning on your cat heating or your cold start. That is really intended to heat up the cat and it keeps a higher RPM for a longer time period. Whereas the GTS startup roar is just a one-time high RPM right upon startup. And as always with Boot Mode, they make things so easy. So today what I want to do is show you guys how to add this feature and also what it sounds like. We're gonna go ahead and jump on the computer, get everything set up on the map that we need to before we go and plug it into the car. First things first, we're gonna go to bootmode.net and this will be the screen you see once you are logged in. You're gonna wanna hit these three bars on the side. We're gonna go down to my maps. We've got the stock tune, another 93 octane tune, and this is the tune I use most frequently and was also my last flash, and this is gonna be the one we're gonna want to make the changes to and add the GTS roar. So we'll click on this. Up in the top right corner you will see a configuration button. Go ahead and give that a tap, and again this is where you will adjust your burble settings if that's something you're into. And if we go right underneath, we have this new feature here, the GTS startup roar. We can go ahead and adjust these to different things, so we can do on, original, or OEM. I'm assuming you want this left on. Choosing on enables what's commonly referred to as the GTS startup roar. Rate start on engine startup, the RPM will briefly go higher than factory settings to produce a more aggressive sounding engine start. On vehicles with electronic exhaust valves, the valves will also open for a brief moment to assist in the overall sound effect. On my F30 specifically, I've deleted my muffler so I don't have the valves anymore, so it should just give us a nice roar from the get-go without having to open those. But should you have the flaps, that sounds like they've covered it and they will open briefly for just the startup. And now with this turned on, we can go down to the very bottom, hit save changes, confirm our save. Now we are all set to go ahead and head out to the car and get this installed. First things first, let's go ahead and just turn this on while we have the OEM push to start sound. Let's do it. It's cool, but a little uninteresting if you ask me. I've been looking for a nice medium between turning cold start off and having cold start on, because a lot of the time when my cold start is on, being catless, it's just overly loud and it lasts for like 20 seconds of just like 3,000 RPMs. I'm exaggerating, but you get the picture. So with this, it's like a nice, hey, here I am, I'm turning on my car, you can hear me, and that's kind of what I'm going for, but it's not so over the top that you're like, okay, bro, turn it off. So now what I want to do is get in the car, hook up the laptop, get the OBD all situated, and get this little feature added on to my F30, and then we will do the sound bite afterwards and see what the difference is. You guys excited? I'm excited. I'm real excited. It's been a while since we've done a little boot mode feature. So let's go ahead and break open the laptop and get everything situated. Actually, before we do so, I always forget to do this because it's kind of hard to do with you got a bunch of stuff on your lap. We're gonna plug in our OBD. If you guys haven't seen this before, you've got an OBD2 port right here, and this side goes into your laptop. The OBD connection is in your footwell on the driver's side, basically right next to the door, under your feet. Now once you get that plugged in, you can go ahead and take this end, plug it into your laptop, and then we can get started on actually reflashing the F30. So once we're logged back into boot mode, it will say OBD connected. We can go back to my maps. This map is the one that we made the change to, so we're gonna go and click on that, and then we wanna go ahead and hit flash, but first we wanna go ahead and just turn the car on, at least the accessories. Make sure that your seatbelt is plugged in. That will help keep a lot of the background computers from going to sleep while you're flashing. Then we want to go ahead and basically just hit flash. It's honestly that easy. Press here to flash now, and once again we'll hit flash. That's really all it takes, guys. It's super easy to use boot mode. I've made a couple of videos on different aspects of this, but by far it's the easiest software I've used as far as like tuning stuff goes. I've done some stuff on Audis, and boot mode has made everything so easy, so accessible, so customizable, which I love. And you don't have to always go back and forth with your tuner, like, hey, I want to add the GTS startup, can you send me a map with that? No, you can just go and do it yourself, and it's much faster that way. So now we're just waiting for the tune to finish up. It is now starting to reprogram the car. And on average, when you're making small changes like this, it usually takes anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes to do the entire flash. If you're flashing boot mode for the first time, it does take a little bit longer, but after that, sometimes I've done it as quick as 30 seconds. And as you can see, 99% completed. It's just gonna finish up here very soon. Flash is successful. Now with boot mode, you do have to start the car, and right now I've got the camera in the car with me. So I'm gonna start it so you guys can get an interior sound. We can both hear it for the first time, but you're gonna hit okay. Hypothetically count to 5 seconds. I'd say it's been about 5 seconds, and we'll go ahead and start it. Okay, so far I can see it went up a little bit. It usually shoots up to about 1,000 RPMs. That time it shot up to about 1,500. So it did go up a little bit more. Next, what I wanna do is turn the car back off, go back outside, set up the camera behind the car, and so that way you guys can hear not a cold start, but a startup with the GTS startup roar. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think I was expecting it to be a little bit louder. This is coming from the future, so I'm gonna cut the video right here because that did not do it justice. The exhaust sounds way different now. It's been a couple different startups after I went to the gas station and stuff, and it just sounds better. There is a little idle issue, but I'll just show you guys what I'm talking about. I think I'll just maybe set you kind of like right there. As you can tell, there's a bit of a weird idle issue, but I think like all in all, it really did sound a lot better than before. So the cut that you just saw, I think this does it more justice. Don't click off the video. It is better than it sounds. But one thing that is obviously an issue is that idling thing. It likes to almost sound like it's dipping too low, even though if you watch the RPMs, it's not. It just sounds like it's gonna bog itself out. So a couple things I'm wondering is if the ECU just needs time to learn it and go through a couple cycles of ignition to figure it out, or I know that I need spark plugs and probably ignition coils on this F30. It's been a long time, especially running a stage 2 93 octane tune on aggressive rebel and all that. I really should have done it, but let's just jump right back into the video and pick things up where we left off. It's just a minor tune change that you can make just to add a little bit of a custom touch to your tune. So I'm excited. You know, boot mode, they're trying their best with this stuff. I mean, it's still a 4-cylinder. It's not an M3, it's not an M4, and it's certainly not an M car at all. And I just love being catless and straight piped because you can honestly hear all the turbo noises. It kind of amplifies all the sounds, including the startup roar. So it may not sound just like this on your car, depending on what your exhaust setup is. In fact, I think if you had more of a stock system with a muffler and your catalytic converter, it might be a little bit more defined, whereas mine's a little bit blown out because everything's a lot louder, just being catless. Just a quick mod today on the F30. Really happy we got this done. I think I've got some more boot mode stuff I want to do, including the max cooling on this, which is a new feature that boot mode also added. So expect more videos on that coming up. Thank you guys so much for kicking it with me today and stopping by the channel. I upload a lot of this DIY little quick mod type content, so if you guys are into it, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification, thumbs up button, comment down below, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what to do. Hit all the buttons. I will see you next time. Keep elevating. Bye-bye.